So just what is Dendro? Now we're going to play a little bit detective in this video. We're going to piece together information we received from many parts of Genshin Impact, many character lines, and actually leaks that are upcoming for 1.5 and so on and so forth to actually figure out what Dendro is, how it's going to change Genshin Impact, and what the purpose of the element is going to be. Now we don't want to make this video too long, so let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is what exactly is Dendro. So Dendro can actually be described as the element of nature, and we've seen a couple instances of that. For example, in the clip I showed in the beginning of the video, the Summertroll is using vines, plants, trees, leaves to kind of attack us and do some DPS and damage over time. Now the Dendro element is represented by the God of Wisdom, or as we know it, the Dendro Archon. Ganyu actually mentions the Dendro Archon to be the youngest of the 7 gods at around 500 years old. This might give us a little bit of insight to the character design that we might see for he or she, the Dendro Archon, because he or she might look like a little bit more of a teenager or a kid in the animation style. For example, the oldest Archon, Zhongli, who is 6,000 years old, looks like he's around late 20s or early 30s. Ganyu and Xiao are around 2,000 to 4,000 years old, and they look like teenagers or early 20s, so now you can imagine someone who's going to be around 500. Now the country of Sumeru is set to be released in 3.0 worships the Dendro Archon, and it's said to be a combination of rainforests and deserts. Now take a look at a quick sneak peek of what Daizu says when introducing Act 3.
The god of wisdom's enemy is wisdom itself, and the oasis of knowledge is a mirage in the desert of ignorance. In the city of scholars, there is a push for folly, yet the god of wisdom makes no argument against it.
Now the character introduced here is Sinnoh. We don't know if Sinnoh is the Dendro Archon, it's too early to tell and much little information, but we do know that Sinnoh will be making an appearance in the Oasis and Desert Wasteland, as Dainsleif mentioned. So currently there are only 3 Dendro enemies in the game which we've seen so far, but there's also one unreleased enemy, the Dendro Abyss Mage, which will be released in future content. But aside from the enemies, we have 2 playable characters upcoming in the game according to leaks. Number 1 being Baizu, a potential 5-star character, and Yayo, a potential 4-star character. So let's first discuss Baizu. Baizu works at the Buba Pharmacy and he shows up during one of Chi-Chi and Zhongli's quests, and it shows here that he has a Dendro vision, which pretty much guarantees he's a Dendro character. Another fun fact about Baizu is similar to Fischl, his snake actually talks, just like Fischl's crow Oz. So this could be indication that a snake does a lot of work whenever Baizu is in combat or when it could be used as a playable character. Another indication could be that it's actually said that Baizu has a weaker constitution than that of even Chi-Chi, even though she's undead, which means he might be a strictly support character or a catalyst user since they don't require too much physical strength. Now in Hu Tao's 4th story, it mentions that Baizu is in the pursuit of eternal life, which means he could be a healer, he could be our first character that drains HP, he buffs you or debuffs the enemy. Now a lot of debuffs we've seen so far, but we haven't seen anyone except for Klee on her constellations that actually debuffs physical defense directly, not physical resistance, physical defense. We also haven't seen a character that drains HP, so he actually might be one of the first one, and he might be using it to pursue eternal life. As cool as this character is, unfortunately there is no release date for Baizu as of yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. Now Yayo is someone that we can see upcoming potentially in version 1.5 along with the Chasm update, releasing the first Dendro character, and Yayo is rumored to be a catalyst character. A catalyst character being the first Dendro character is really useful because it can actually get people used to the constant reactions, because all of catalyst damage is always going to be elemental based. Now there's no need to read all this dialogue, this is just to show that we're taking bits and pieces from the story and concluding that Yayo is actually the junior chef to Zhongli, who was then taken under the wing of Ganyu in the Ministry of Civil Affairs, which we can conclude that means that she is from Liyue. So since she's already from an introduced country, it can actually show that Yayo might be one of the earlier Dendro characters released in the next 1.5 version. Since the Chasm is being introduced in 1.5, which is a similar area to Dragonspine, but in Liyue instead, it makes sense to introduce some new concepts with it. So currently Dendro only reacts with Pyro and does not react to any other element, causing burning and damage over time to both us and the opposing character. But let's use our imagination and look at Mother Nature and what the Dendro element is and actually apply it to the other actual elements. So Electro could actually provide us with some decreased resistance plus damage over time in the form of poison, while Hydro and Dendro is usually meant to grow plants, so for us it could provide some sort of drain life or gain energy. And the Cryo could be the first element with Dendro that actually decreases defense instead of physical resistance, which only Klee does at the moment, as I mentioned before. So Dendro will bring so much hype to the game with people swapping out their character combos, their current team members in place of Dendro characters to find new reactions and new ways to play the game. Now if you have your own reaction ideas, shoot them down in the comment section below. I want you guys to understand that everything in this video has been researched extensively. However, you should still take everything with a grain of salt because everything is unreleased. Just like 1.4 Child's banner, no one knows what Mihoyo will hit you with. But if you guys like the video, a sub to the channel would be amazing. Hit that like button and I'll see you guys next time.